morning, guys. Back at it with another MLB DFS video. Can't buy a win. I don't know what else to say. Reads have been like pretty decent in my opinion, but it's just stuff isn't falling the way that it should. Any other comments? I'm kind of just lost.
Yeah, I mean, for full transparency here, we're 9 and 14 on the month, which compared to April and May, we were above 50%. So it's going to be tough to get back up to 50% for this month. It just might be a loss, but hopefully to cut our losses by the end of the month. And we're 3 and 9 in our last 12. So not a good little stint here, but I mean, yesterday was just I had a main Padres stack to start the day, and then I switched to Toronto like an absolute donkey because they were getting steamed all day. They were so cheap. They're still so cheap today, and I'm not doing it again. But like Vlad had his first home run in like 3 weeks, and that tilted me like 25%. We didn't have him. Bo Bichette's like they're basically making these guys min price to make you play Toronto, and they still suck. So I don't know. I'm not dying on that wagon today. Angels really didn't get there. I was okay with dying there. I mean, it looked like a pretty great spot. Even with the ownership on some of the guys, they were just man. You're not going to win with two full stacks of both teams scoring four. So is what it is. And I mean, we got Musgrove right. He was the highest scoring pitcher on the slate. It just seemed like a good spot, good chance to get the win. They were like minus 230 or something. So that was fine. And I liked Bello as a secondary option, and he did pretty good too. Got like 42. So pitching was good. Hitting was crap. Hopefully we can just connect the dots for once today.
You know how much it sucked seeing Brian Bello pitch against the White Sox and actually going crazy. That was so bad. Brian Bello, out of all pitchers.
He's been good the
And
last month.
And Giolito actually had a pretty good outing. He gave up that home run to Devers, and then his last inning he struck out the side. He got Devers pretty good on a strikeout. It was a fun game, but sell the team, Jerry. So Merrill Kelly, Max Scherzer, James Paxton, Lance Lynn, John Gray, Jose Barrios. It's a big slate. So where are you thinking on going today?
I mean, as you can see from the data, like there's not that much separation between pitcher one versus pitcher eight. Like top 1% is between 5 and 8%. That's why there's not that much ownership going to anyone besides Lynn and Barrios. And I can see a lot of people going to Lynn just because he had 16 strikeouts his last outing. Just absolutely absurd. He's got to be or something. But Barrios obviously going to get some ownership too against Oakland again. I mean, we saw what happened to Bassett yesterday, but we know Bassett is not very good against lefties, and that's he got taken advantage of there. I mean, Merrill Kelly's fine. 10-5. I mean, I said it last late. I didn't want to play him at 10-5 and need a good again. But I don't know if I want to pay up for pitcher today with all the good offenses. There's lots of good offensive spots, it looks like, with weather and pitching matchups. So I don't think I'm going to get to Kelly just based on price. Same with Paxton, just a price thing. He's pretty good play. Can't argue against it if you're paying down with some bats. And I wouldn't mind getting to Paxton or Kelly, especially since they're both going to be about 5% owned. Like, I don't get that at all. Scherzer, I don't know. I think I'd rather just find $1,000 for Paxton or Kelly over Scherzer. There's easier matchups for the both of them. Lynn, I mean, Chalk Lynn, that doesn't seem like the play, honestly. Think I'll just avoid that. John Gray at 10K. He's been absolutely mowing for about 2 months now, except for his last outing. So I could go back to some John Gray against, judgeless Yankees. Barrios at 20%. He got knocked around a little bit I think they played the Marlins like a couple days ago, and he didn't perform so well. But I mean, sure, 20% Barrios doesn't seem all that fun though. Peralta's gonna be basically unowned against Cleveland. Don't think I really want to go there. They don't strike out all that much. BB, I'd rather play a lefty against Milwaukee. Kramer, no. Servino, definitely not. I can't believe he's actually 10% ownership. Vito, no thanks. Bryce Miller, it's just, I mean, Baltimore has been like iffy the last couple weeks, very hit or miss. It's just kind of an awkward price range. I don't think I can get there. I think again, I'd rather just find an extra 1,000 to pay up or pay down. And the hard part about fitting all these good offenses in today is like all these 7K, 8K pitchers are just so meh. What do you think?
So I'm gonna kind of just go through the list. I don't know what it is with even Zach Gallen, but these Diamondback pitchers have been pretty consistent. They've been pretty good. Kelly's projected for 5% and a 2.9% leverage score, so that seems good. Scherzer, all right, so here's my thing. Barrios has a good matchup. Scherzer has a okay matchup, but they're both 9,200. Whereas Barrios is 20%, Scherzer is 11%. It's kind of like, who do you trust more? I think mostly everyone can say they trust Scherzer more. The only issue, not issue, but Barrios has a better matchup, but he also gets lit up like a Christmas tree pretty much every slate. Paxton, hitting weather should be pretty good in Chicago, whereas when I went to the game yesterday, the hitting weather was good, but it wasn't a lot of runs scored. Lance Lynn, listen, don't do this to yourself. Do not play Lance Lynn. The strikeout side is like there for him, but I mean, do you think he can go 6? Do you think that the White Sox can get the win? Is the real question. Sort of in play, but he's projected to be 21% right now, so it's kind of like you kind of have to trust yourself if you think that he can go 6 and get the win. John Gray seems like the most interesting spot at 10K against Aaron Judge-less Yankees lineup, but he's only projected for 1% ownership. I think that might go up a little bit, which seems interesting. If I had to rank them right now, like I'm not playing Dean Kremer, I'm not playing Luis Severino, Freddie Peralta, sure, maybe, but I mean, Cleveland just does not strike out, as we all know. If I had to rank them, I'd probably go John Gray, Scherzer, Merrill Kelly. If you wanted to get a little different, I guess you can go Barrios. And I see your face and you're kind of like,
Well,
what the
it's just not really getting that different playing Barrios, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think he should be 20%. I understand that somewhat like he's 9,200 against Oakland, but I mean, all right, you know what? Scratch that. If you want to get different,
Pay
just
up.
don't go different. Or more so pay up. Yeah, don't really try to go for like 8,500 Tanner BB. Don't go for 8,300 Dean Kremer, whatever his name is. I guess if you would want to go different, because I mean, Merrill Kelly's only projected for 5%, James Paxton's only projected for 6. Kind of like what you said though too. There's a lot of good offenses playing today, so that's the tricky side I'm paying up. But
Yeah, if I had to rank them, I'd go Kelly, Paxton, BB, Bryce Miller, Barrios, just based on ownership.
all right, on to stack. All right, so right now it's got Atlanta, Cincy, Tampa, Mets, Toronto, Texas, the list goes on and on. Where are we thinking? You're muted.
Yeah. I was saying, you got to have some Braves today. I mean, the odds that none of them like really get there or like are optimal is like pretty much zero. At least one or two guys are going to get there. And this matchup against Ashcraft, who has been battling injuries, and I think that's what's been affecting him. He hasn't been very good all year. It's a great hitting environment. We saw 9 home runs in this game yesterday. I think, Olson's in a great spot. He's been hot for about a week. D'Arnaud as well. He's in the 6th spot. You can play Eddie Rosario at 3K, Ozuna at 3K. I like pretty much all the Braves. It's just kind of hard to pick which ones. I think your secondary stack will dictate, what positions you need filled by the Braves and how many Braves you can get to based on salary. Because, I mean, if you're going to play Acuna, you're pretty much strapped. But playing a Brave stack without Acuna seems kind of messed up. Reds look good again on the other side against. They just can't lose. They've won 12 in a row. The Rally Reds came back yesterday. It was an insane game to watch. So I like some of the Reds. They also gave Steer outfield eligibility, so I like him. He's not strapped at third base anymore. Tampa, I mean, Lyles is what, 0-11 or something at this point. I can see some Tampa guys getting there for sure. Texas really popped up for me looking at the Tool and Ballpark Pal. Some good home run odds for Josh Lowe, not Josh Lowe, fucking Nate Lowe, Josh Jung, and Garcia. So I could play some Texas. Seattle again. They dropped 13 yesterday or something crazy. I can go back to them. Cal Raleigh looks pretty good. I mean, if you want to play against a chalk pitcher, you can play the Red Sox against Lynn. He's a gas can waiting to explode. So I wouldn't mind some of them, but pretty much condensed like the top 7 teams in the stack tool. Besides, I'm not playing Toronto today.
So I pretty much agree with everything there. Mets are playing Christopher Sanchez. No idea who that is. Did you see Eduardo Escobar get traded mid-game?
I did not see that.
He got traded mid-game. I saw it on my phone when I was at the Sox game. I was like, "There's no way." And then I guess they interviewed Lindor, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, we were all shocked. We had no idea." And I think he got traded to the Angels. That was kind of weird. Tampa looks good. Mets look good. Toronto looks good, but they're banned. Rangers against Severino, yeah. Seattle. I will say, I don't know who this Keaton Wynn kid is pitching for San Fran. Arizona might be a decent leverage spot there. So I kind of like that. You know, hold on. The top 7 stats look pretty good. I guess you can get to Boston. I don't know how good Bryce Miller has been recently, but Baltimore looks a little interesting. I'm gonna look real quick to see. Bryce Miller's 9,100. He's actually he's had a couple. His last 2 starts, he's been pretty good, but then prior to that, he's been kind of up and down. So I mean, Baltimore is kind of a dark throw, I guess. Arizona looks decent because I just don't know who this Keaton One kid is. His first start, June 13th, he had 15 fantasy points, and then June 19th, he had 24 fantasy points. Hasn't really had many strikeouts, gave up an earned run, so I mean, very different.
How many innings is he going? Isn't he just like a
His first start was 4, his second start was 5. And I think it said his first start 2 strikeouts, the other one 3 or 4. So I mean, Arizona might get to him a little bit. 1.9% leverage, 4.5 inside total. Yeah, definitely prioritize Atlanta Cincy. We might even just stay screwed and do an Atlanta Cincy stack. I mean, look what happened yesterday, 20 points. And Ellie De La cycle happened.
If I had to rank them, I'd go Braves, Texas, Cincy, Seattle, Boston.
I'd probably go Atlanta, Tampa, Cincy, Atlanta, Tampa, Texas, Cincy. I don't know what it is. Boston, I can kind of see. Seattle, yeah. There's something about the Diamondbacks that's standing out to me. Now, whether that's a good thing or not, we'll find out in like 3 hours. You got home runs lined up yet?
Just give me a second. We can go through the lineup generator.
All right, let's do that real quick. So share screen. Ooh, what just happened? All right, let's run this.
Still liking the 4-3-1, I think.
You do or don't?
I do.
Oh, okay. I thought you said no, and I was like, oh, well, I already clicked it.
Balance because shouldn't be too chalky today. Don't really have a pitcher option right now. Let's just see what it fits.
God, Lansman. This is a cash game lineup.
Yeah.
I actually wouldn't mind this that much for a cash game if I'm being, or for a cash contest if I'm being honest. You want me to just save this 20 times and see what it comes up with?
Sure.
So it saves up to 20 lineups. So Austin Riley, great. So it's spitting out a bunch of Braves. You know, you got Lance Lynn at 39%. You know, Springer and Vladdy, some Toronto, which we're not playing because we're banned. A couple Reds here. Not really liking the Phillies or the Mets that much. Interesting. Not too bad. I don't mind. Obviously, it's pretty chalk, but I mean, not too shabby. So yeah, you can also scroll and see lineup numbers and stuff, and it's a great way to kind of think about what players you want and all that. So definitely a great tool. Why does it only show 18? Why is Matt McClain 35? De La cycle 4-2. Interesting. All right. All right, let's move on to home runs. You want to lead us off?
Sure. Gonna go Josh Jung from Texas, Teoscar Hernandez from Seattle, and then Luis Robert from the Sox.
So I got to go back to the well. Got to go with Shohei Gotani. Got to go Justin Turner and Cal Raleigh. So that should about do it, unless there's anything else you want to add or something that we missed out on.
No, I don't think so. Hopefully we can get a win streak going to start getting towards over 50% for the month because it's been quite the skid the last week and a half. But we appreciate you guys following along. And if you tail our lineups, we post about 10 minutes before lock. So make sure to check that out and check out Stochastics tools in our description for all the data you need. And like and subscribe if you haven't already.